Hello, people out there on the interweb. Wait, is this on the internet, technically?
Yeah, I think technically.
Everything's through the web.
Yeah, everything's connected. We're all connected.
It's the Matrix, really, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's not the movie we're doing. Okay. Yeah, this week's movie is another Robin Williams movie to continue off of the previous ones. The film is Birdcage. Or is it The Birdcage? Oh, crap.
I think it's The Birdcage, yeah.
I should title it correctly. 1996 is when it came out. Did you want to start us off with anything, or should I do the thermometers?
Go ahead. Okay. Go straight into it.
Perfect. Oh, do you have any guesses? That was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to... Let's do that.
Let's see. Birdcage. I'm going to say the critic score was... I'm going to say 70s.
Okay.
And I'm going to say audience score is in the 80s.
All right. Audience score and the critic score were both 81%. So you're like right
so
there.
Close.
Yeah,
right there.
It's like right there. You split the difference and you're probably technically correct, right?
Yeah, I'll take it.
As an average. All right. Yeah. I feel like for this movie, I want to know what you have to say actually about it, but there were a ton of good quotes, good things about it. And it's an adaptation. Would that be the correct term?
Yeah.
From it's not Broadway, but it's a French film play, something.
French play, I think.
Play then, right? Yeah.
And it feels like a play. Like it feels like a Neil Simon, wacky antics. Not like wacky antics, but like it's a situation that a play would be good for. And it
definitely.
It's quick. It takes place, at really one location. There's some kind of traveling that goes on a little bit. But for the most part, it takes place in one evening. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I enjoyed it overall, but I liked that it was kind of like, it felt like a play. Like, I would love to go see this performed somewhere.
Yeah, it definitely had that feel and that vibe. I've seen plays in person, and it felt like it was a play, but in film. There's some that are like that I don't know if they have that same kind of feel to them. I'm blanking on some came to mind while I was watching it, but it just it was cool to be able to tell that, because I don't know if the average viewer would realize that, or if it would even throw them off.
Right.
I'm actually very curious to know if that would throw someone off. Be like, this is kind of a weird movie, but you do get those kind of off the rails moments that are a little maybe too dramatic.
Right.
For like, as far as, let's just say, the plot's concerned, because it's going back and forth on, oh, we're going to do this. No, we're not going to do that. There's kind of that going on a lot, but it's cool because that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
For that kind of comedy, but then there's some commentary, in there.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. With having the hardcore Republican senator and the very gay men.
Yeah, it felt very eerily like something that would still happen today.
Yeah.
But just, you're like, oh, that seems...
Yeah, ahead of its time.
Dramatized or dramatized? I don't know. I'm not
dramatized or dramatized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's very... I mean, these are still, conversations and things that are happening in today's society. And this movie's, almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way it's structured with the story, and I also feel like the setting just has that kind of old Hollywood 50s play kind of mentality, where before they went out on location to shoot things, they built everything in a studio.
Yeah.
And it just feels like such a studio kind of thing. Of course, the late, great Robin Williams is there, and he plays kind of the straight man to Nathan Lane's over-the-top, dramatic... I can't even remember what his name is, but...
Oh, the character's name?
Yeah.
Albert. Al.
Well, right, Albert.
Yeah.
Albert and Armand.
Oh, yeah,
Armand
Albert
is Robin Williams. Albert is Nathan Lane. Yeah, and I believe... I can't remember who it was. I read it in the IMDb trivia. But originally Robin Williams was going to be Albert, but decided to take the role of Armand and play a little straighter of a role. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But I thought he did a great job. Like, he's really good at going over the top when he needs to and holding it back when he doesn't in his performances. I feel like he's very reserved and he's just kind of a spectator to a lot of Albert's kind of shenanigans that go on throughout it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just
yeah, and I was like laughing so hard at some of the parts just because I was like, I can't believe that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I thought I'd watched it all the way through before, but I think I only saw like half of it because I didn't remember half of it. And
yeah.
I also didn't realize it was that old of a movie when we originally picked it out.
Oh, let's see. What do we got here? So, I feel like Val, their son, Armand's son, it's kind of it's a dick situation. I feel like Val, Armand's son, is a dick. He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I mean, they touch on it. They don't necessarily portray him in a good light.
No.
But
he's both, I don't know. I felt like I could tell he was kind of proud of them, but embarrassed at the same time the whole time. And then obviously at the end, he has this little redeeming thing where he just comes out and says it.
Right. I don't think that, I don't know. I don't like his redemption. I don't like him, like...
It felt cheap.
Yeah. It felt like he was just doing it because he got caught, not because he actually, loves his dad and,
That's a good point.
I feel like he just did it because they got caught.
Though.
Yeah.
He didn't have to. He could have just been, like, more explicit. You know what I mean? So I feel like it had a little more meaning because of that, but maybe if he's an opportunist, then that would be right. That he just said it because, like you said, because he got caught. Plus, like, hey, this is the time to make it like me look
Might as
good
well throw this
to
out
my
there.
parents too. Now then,
yeah.
There was a lot of good quotes. Maybe I shouldn't get into quotes, but I kind of just wrote down here that the general idea I felt like was the acceptance of others, right? Mm-hmm. And then knowing who you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that goes into identity specifically, but yeah, kind of, I guess. But because I'm thinking about the conservative family versus this other family, is like you think could accept us, but they're not going to, and they know that,
right? And
so they try to fight around that, which it's kind of sad,
right?
When I think about it.
And like, we don't really get they do have the wedding,
at the end.
That's true. I mean, I don't think that the senator's politics change. Like, I feel like he's still, even when he's in drag going through the club, he's just, I don't know. I just don't feel like the senator grows as a character at all. He doesn't accept these guys. He does it because his daughter wants to, marry this guy. But I don't think fundamentally anything about him really changes.
Me being born in 89, I thought the biggest sex scandal thing was Bill Clinton. So the fact that this was, 96, that was all in 97, 98, right? Like right after this?
I think
or was
so.
it because he got reelected?
Right. Yeah,
But,
he got reelected in 96. So
my point is that I didn't know there'd be like there's a sex scandal in there to start right with his. I didn't really know who that was. It was another conservative politician though.
Yeah.
That died. But
died with like a prostitute. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess it goes way back before when I thought it was mostly just in my lifetime. And I know of other scandals, but I didn't know how many were sex scandals. Weren't there like the rumors JFK with like Marilyn Monroe?
Right.
I don't know if that ever panned out to be true at all.
Oh, it's
or is
true.
that like a theory? Oh, okay. Well,
talk to the French guy on the grassy knoll. He knows.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess I mentioned that because it's just another thing of I guess not a lot's really changed.
Yeah.
A lot has, but a lot also hasn't.
Yeah. Where I feel like, you know, in this movie, a situation comes up that could still come up today.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not the best. I feel like we should have moved past a lot of this in 30 years. And, you know, it is a movie about acceptance and staying true to who you are. Albert is shamelessly himself.
Yeah.
You know, and he even knows, you know, there's a part in it where he says that, you know, he knows he's the most dramatic one. He knows, but, you know, he knows that about himself and he accepts that about himself. And I think that really helps both Val and Armand kind of like get through the charade that they're doing and realize that, you know, we got to confess or we got to come forward about this. Or
I think I don't know, I gotta say the best thing, but it is the mom, the whole confusion with the act bio mom getting there, and then he takes on the mantle of being the mom. I was like, that's perfect, because that just fits his character. Like, just everything felt like just right. Like, yes, this catastrophe's got to happen just this way.
Right.
You know, and for it to not work out. But then what's great is then the senator's really buying into it.
Yeah.
Which makes it, you know, and
she's a great woman.
I'm like, it's pretty obvious. Like, it seems like it's pretty obvious to me watching it. And so it adds to the humor, because it's like, oh, this like conservative guy can't accept this thing, and then
it's like his mind has a block.
He still just doesn't get it, and I was like, oh my god, that's so good. I was laughing at all those. There's almost like a bunch of nuance in there that felt like it was so great. Yeah, and so and then I also found some stuff that had more quotes, but the one quote that I definitely wrote down was during when Armand was trying to teach him how to be more manly. Mm-hmm. And then Albert's like, I pierced the toast. And I'm like, it's just such like a interesting way to phrase it. Yeah. And I love Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
So good.
Those two together is a great combination. And I loved all those scenes where like Armand's trying to teach him how to be a man, and he's acting like a man, and you know, he's still like the way he screams just when anything goes wrong or anything. It's just perfect.
And then even Robin Williams he did such a good job making it feel like, because he's hairier and he has this like more masculine look, looking at him at a glance could totally pass for, you know, like he's in the suit and stuff. Mm-hmm. But then when the champagne cork pops and he lets out it's just like, there's little things like that. Like he did a really good job at that part. I feel like that was really good for him. Yeah. Because of that. Because he can act that. And then he looks like the one who can play the more straight character if he needed to. But he also doesn't really know. He knows more, it seems like, than Albert would. Yeah. To be able to
see, I feel like, you know, I feel like the backstory there is that, and they kind of go into a little bit with the mom, that they were, younger in their 30s dating, or not dating, but were in a show together and decided to, they got drunk and had sex or whatever. And, I feel like Armand probably went through a more closeted experience where he had to kind of like tough it out, where Albert has just kind of always been flamboyant and loud and, out of the closet. And I think that's kind of the dynamic they go for, that, Armand had to kind of fake it before, so he knows the tips and tricks for Albert to do it, but Albert's just not that kind of person. They're both great. Val's an asshole. Don't like Val.
Yeah, there's parts of it I was like, oh, that's... Well, and then me having a son, there's this whole, like... You want to be... I don't know, when you're younger, you do want to be accepted. So then I know it's hard for others to feel like they are. I guess it's funny, too, because when he showed up in the beginning, I was like, wait, is he actually having an affair type thing?
Yeah, they
and then
played
it's
that
his
really
son.
well.
I'm like, oh, that's really sweet, actually.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And then I also at first thought they didn't want him to get married. I think it ended up being really because he's pretty young. Even though he looks like he's like 28 to me.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be 20.
Super old.
And then I was thinking, oh, maybe it's that like role reversal thing where it's because he's not gay or something that they don't like it. But then I was like, oh no, they actually really care about him as their son. And I was like, that's really nice. It's really nice to see that in some media, because I don't think there's equal representation at that time.
Yeah. Gene Hackman did a good job. Hank Azaria did great.
Oh, I was going to mention him because I know you're a Simpsons fan.
Yeah.
And he's just so good at different voices.
Yeah. And
Spartacus.
Yeah, I am Spartacus.
Agamond.
Him walking with the shoes, but he never wears shoes, so he keeps tripping.
He said the thing about falling. I was like, is that really why? And then the first thing when he has shoes on, he falls. I was like, that's so funny.
And he only made soup.
Oh, yeah, that is an entree.
Yeah.
Fuck the shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all like they seem like they had it together for a second, and then Val and Armand all of a sudden are like in the kitchen just chugging the champagne like fuck it.
Right.
It's like whatever, just do it. We're screwed anyways.
Yeah. There gets a point where it's just kind of a Hail Mary, like, let's just do what we can. When what happened? They heard a noise or something, and they go behind the curtain, and he can't find like the exit of the curtain.
Yeah, he can't like find his way through the curtain. It's all a fluster. You know what's really good about that, now that we're talking about all that stuff, because it gets chaotic, is there's this calmness right before the conservative family shows up, and then they're talking to Nathan Lane, comes out in the suit, and you can tell there's some sort of not uptight, but like tension that's being held, but it's kind of in the background. Yeah. And then there's like this moment, and they show up, and then it's really tense because you can just tell they're nervous about hiding this stuff, and then the mom's not there yet, and then as soon as Nathan Lane comes out dressed up, it just explodes, because then you're like, oh, okay. Like they're like, oh
yeah, there's no going back now
to it. Yeah. And so it's like a fun ride.
Yeah.
Of that.
Yeah, it's a nice little roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then I like the ending. Well, there's like the kind of B story about the senator and the other senator that was caught with a prostitute, and him like climbing up the fence or climbing up the ladder to his house, and then being stalked by like the media, which is, of course, as we know, become a giant thing.
Yeah,
that happens.
That's funny. He's like climbing down the ladder to sneak out, and then they see him, and he goes back in.
Yeah,
Like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I overall really enjoyed it. I feel like there's growth through it, though maybe a little difficult for some of the characters. Like, I don't think Val really... I just don't like Val. Like, he very openly asks his dad to just kind of be someone that he's not. And because Armand is, wants to make his son happy, goes through the trouble to kind of do it. And, I mean, I've never been in that situation, but I don't know. It's a fucked up situation.
Yeah, in general. Because it is, though. Why can't you just tell him? But I can almost chalk it up to he's pretty young.
Yeah.
If... Because at first he says he's not going to. And that was the other thing I forgot to mention when I said the acceptance of others and knowing who you are, is Armand says that line of, I spent 20 years or something, like trying to figure out who I am or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I have been myself for 20 or whatever it is, like kind of hinting at that he was probably pretty closeted for a while, and it took him a lot to get to where he is today, to just then hide it because of one family that's just stupid in his perspective. So
yeah,
I feel like because he loves his son, he thinks it's one night for this, maybe we'll, I don't know, whatever the future holds, like we tell him later, kind of how maybe we'll tell him it's Uncle Al, and then later they'll just find out.
Yeah.
But
and yeah, he's really good at kind of having... He's very expressive with his eyes. Like, I feel like he was very outward and open, but also internally he's struggling to, like, fake all this. And you can kind of see the frustration when things start going wrong, that he just wants to give up the charade and let it all go, but he holds it in to help Val.
Yeah.
He's just a really good actor. Final thoughts? Gene Hackman's pretty hot in drag.
I was like, I can tell for that that's gotta be a man, but it didn't look like him to me. And I was like, you definitely looked better.
Yeah, I loved him talking to the like valet at the end of "Meet me in the parking lot 2 blocks down." It's like, in your dreams, lady.
Yeah, that was a pretty good line.
Yeah.
Which I think does kind of touch on that. I don't think he changed that much from that one. But then he had to, then they're all like waiting around before they come up with that plan of like, oh, we're kind of screwed, not sure what to do. And then the gay couple that they obviously would disapprove of helps them get out of the sticky situation.
Right.
So that they, even though they probably wouldn't really care.
Yeah.
But they do care because they probably, I keep saying they, but like Armand and Albert recognize that we're all just people.
Yeah.
And so then they come out looking better, at least, at the end of the movie. Then, I mean, not that, I don't remember that family's name, but the senator's family.
Keeley.
Keeley? Yeah, Senator that's right.
Keeley.
Yeah. I think that was right. So... Yeah, final thoughts. Gene Hackman looks hot in drag. Oh, the fact that, like RuPaul's Drag Race stuff blew up too, like it might have been in the late 90s, but I want to say it's like 2000s. There's a ton of those things that it's just interesting to see the progression of the appearance of that.
Yeah, because I feel like I remember this being, a fairly taboo movie back in the day, because it deals with both the drag element and the homosexual gay element, which,
and then political stuff,
and then politics as well,
media,
but it was also a really good movie. I think it was nominated for or won an Academy Award or 2. Help bring more, not notoriety, but just make it more mainstream. This was a breakthrough movie role of American Broadway actor Nathan Lane.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, here's what it was. So Steve Martin was originally cast as Armand, and Robin Williams was going to be Albert. But scheduling conflicts caused Steve Martin to drop out, and then Williams decided to take the role of Armand.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen them in a movie, I don't think. Robin Williams and Steve Martin. So.
No, I don't think so.
But I almost just can't picture it, though. But, I've known who was in this movie before, so I have this image in my head that it's always hard to picture someone else in that spot.
Yeah.
Rarely there's some that you go, I could probably see that.
I love that Hank Azaria gives Albert Piran tabs.
Oh yeah, that was good
and just
too.
like scratches off the A and the S of aspirin.
He's like, what are you giving him? From like Armand, he's like, there's just aspirin.
Yeah, just aspirin.
It's like, it's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining, and I like stuff that makes you laugh but also makes you think.
Yeah.
And this did a really good job of doing that.
For me, it's got that old Hollywood feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's true.
Those movies to me are kind of timeless. His Girl Friday, all those kind of. And this one is different in the fact that it just kind of plays with the more taboo subjects of the time. But I wouldn't remake it just because I think that it's perfect the way it is. It's a classic, and nothing that Robin Williams does or did should ever be rebooted or remade or anything.
Does that include like Aladdin? 'Cause
yes,
there's a live action one.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I like Will Smith. I did not like that genie that much.
I don't hate the Jumanji movies, but I don't really think they were necessary.
Yeah,
I like
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
Kevin Hart was funny. Jack Black,
yeah, great cast. I don't think they're necessary. I'm more interested in what Alan Parrish went through while he was stuck in the jungle for 30 years than an updated version of it.
It's like more updated because it's like, video games and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, but what if it was... Well, I didn't watch the second one. I think I watched the first one. Oh, or Tangine, but I gotta know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like the grandkid of Alan Parrish for there's no tie-in to anything. It's just a complete remake sequel or whatever.
Yeah. There's one part of it where they stumble upon his camp or a place that he used as his tent or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's their big callback, and I'm more interested in
video game, right? Though.
Yeah.
So did they actually go to? I'm like, are you in the video game technically, or are they in the real Jumanji? No, because if they're in a simulated version of what Jumanji would have been.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah,
but then
so they're not in the real Jumanji.
They're not in the real Jumanji thing. Because the game as a board game was actually a real place for them, but then the video game can simulate real life.
Right.
But then isn't the same as the board game. It's
leave your comments down below.
I'm feeling very flustered about this and more enraged about those movies now. And that's not what this one was about. So I'm gonna end it there personally.
Yeah, same. Birdcage is great. Thank you for listening. I'll throw in so I've been taking screenshots of movies and taking pictures and asking people to name that movie. And I forgot for our Dead Poets Society episode, my friend Rachel guessed correctly. So shout out to her. That's all I got.
Nice. Oh, and next week's movie, another Robin Williams. Forgot we queue up people.
Yeah.
It's going to be Death to Smoochie, 2002.
Nice.
Is when that came out, if you need to add that to the search.
Oh, yeah, I got to go watch that right now. So I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.